Let's take a journey back in time, 1,000 years ago. Picture a world where the climate was largely stable, with minor fluctuations due to natural phenomena, such as volcanic eruptions and solar activity. The winters were cold, the summers were warm, and the seasons followed a predictable pattern. As we move forward through the centuries, we see the climate change, but at a slow, natural pace. These changes were driven by Earth's own dynamic processes, such as shifts in the planet's orbit and axis and natural variations in greenhouse gas levels. For hundreds of years, these changes occurred slowly, almost imperceptibly. Now fast forward to the last century. Suddenly, the pace of change is no longer slow and steady. It's rapid, it's drastic, and it's largely unprecedented. The cause? Human activities. The burning of fossil fuels, deforestation, industrial processes. All these activities have contributed to a significant increase in greenhouse gases, accelerating the pace of climate change. As we can see, the pace of climate change has drastically accelerated in the last century, largely due to human activities. The climate that took hundreds of years to change naturally is now changing in a matter of decades. As we move into the next scene, we'll delve deeper into the reality of this change and what it means for our planet and us. Let's begin by acknowledging that the Earth's climate is in a state of continual flux, a natural cycle that has been ongoing for as long as our planet has existed. However, can you imagine a world where the air you breathe is no longer clean, where the water you drink is no longer pure, where the seasons you once knew are now unpredictable? This isn't some dystopian fantasy, but a potential reality if climate change continues at its current pace. The question isn't whether climate change is happening, but rather, is humanity influencing it? There's a wealth of evidence that the argument of human influence on climate change. Not only evidence, but undeniable, irrefutable facts. Consider this. The Earth's average temperature has increased by more than 1 degree Celsius since the late 19th century. This increase is directly linked to the rise in carbon dioxide and other human-made emissions into the atmosphere. And these emissions? They're not naturally occurring phenomena. They come from burning fossil fuels like coal, oil, and gas for electricity and heat, from deforestation, and from industrial processes. These activities, driven by human industry and consumption, contribute to the greenhouse effect and the warming of our planet. Moreover, the last 4 decades have been the warmest in history of modern civilization. The world's leading climate scientists have warned that we have only a dozen years for global warming to be kept to a maximum of 1.5 degrees Celsius. Beyond this, even half a degree will significantly worsen the risks of drought, floods, extreme heat, and poverty for hundreds of millions of people. Ice sheets in Greenland and Antarctica are melting at unprecedented rates. The Arctic sea ice and glaciers are disappearing. Oceans are warming and becoming more acidic, causing coral reefs to die off. Extreme weather events, from hurricanes to heat waves, are becoming more frequent and intense. All these changes align with scientific predictions of the effects of increased greenhouse gas concentrations in our atmosphere. Coincidence? Unlikely. The consensus among scientists is clear. Human activities are driving climate change. The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, a group of thousands of scientists from around the world, has stated with 95% certainty that humans are the main cause of current global warming. So, what have we learned? First, climate change is real, and it's happening now. Second, human activities, particularly the burning of fossil fuels and deforestation, are main contributors to the greenhouse effect and global warming. Third, unless we take immediate and substantial action to reduce our greenhouse gas emissions, the impacts of climate change will continue to intensify. This isn't about pointing fingers or laying blame. It's about acknowledging our role in the state of our planet and taking responsibility for our actions. It's about understanding that we have the power to influence climate change, not just in a negative way, but in a positive one too. By reducing our greenhouse gas emissions, by transitioning to renewable energy, by conserving our forests and oceans, we can help slow down and even reverse the effects of climate change. In the end, the choice is ours. We can continue on our current path and face the consequences, or we can choose a different path, one of sustainability and preservation for the sake of our planet and future generations. Remember, we only have one Earth, Let's make sure we treat it with the care and respect it deserves.